Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Western North Carolina fishing report with Dale Collins at Tuckaseegee Fly Shop. How you doing, Dale?
Doing great, Marvin. Drying out some gear from a fun day on the water and getting ready for another one tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you're in your fall season full stride at this point, and I looked at your weather, and you're definitely cooling off. But I think probably the biggest thing I noticed is you're not getting a lot of rain.
That's right. Yeah, it has been on the dry side. We had a nice shot of rain come through last Thursday night, and then that's been pretty much it for the last probably 4 weeks. We got about 3/4 of an inch there in the last measured 4 weeks. So, yeah, it is definitely, I think, getting a little on the low side, but, we're at a good time of year. If it's going to be dry right now, it's okay because the fish aren't going to be stressed. Our water temperatures are nice. Still plenty of oxygen in the water. So it's not a situation like in 2016 with that drought where we've got heat and low water mixing. So kind of nothing to really worry about, but, definitely can impact your strategies. We're seeing some really nice hatches on all of the leg harvest around Western North Carolina where you're able to, these fish aren't having to fight the current as hard to get up to the surface to eat and rise. So we're having a lot of fun with dry dropper setups right now on the Tuck as well as West Fork of the Pigeon or the Upper Nantahala and even Snowbird.
Got it. And I assume you're probably fishing caddis and small mayflies?
Yeah, there is some of that. There's small blueing olives. So, if you need to throw something like an 18, fish it behind something you can see, maybe a chubby Chernobyl or a stimulator. And then if something rises near that fly you can see, then, give it a good hook set, good pull up. But, I like to always have a nymph right now under a dry fly. So last week it wasn't anything necessarily weather related, but we had fish rising to the Chernobyl ant. So and if they didn't hit that, they hit the dropper, and that was on the Tuckaseegee. So you can get out there and have some fun with it. There's still, there are some of the fish in the areas of the Tuck that are still kind of technical that aren't on. They're really only going to respond if it's like smaller flies and light tippet, just because they're getting educated, with between drift boats and Duke Energy's come off the flows this week. And so we're seeing lots of perfect wading conditions. I think today was the lowest I've waded the Tuck, in a few years maybe. So it was a lot of fun. We were able to walk into some places that I haven't been in a long time.
Well, that's great. And this is the last fishing report we'll do before Thanksgiving. And so what we usually do, right, is we tell people how to fish during the holiday weekend and try to see as few people as possible.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think the key is to get away from your car. So, or get away from the pull off. If you're fishing a delayed harvest anywhere in the state, even if it's Wilson Creek, try to get into some of the places that aren't right by the pull offs or the trails. The fish have spread out by now that they've stocked, and, wild fish have done their thing. So, there's going to be fish in those places willing to participate in the shenanigans in the places that are just a little easier, a little more difficult to get into. I think that's going to be the best way to pay off. The national park, we're seeing a pretty good cold snap come through here this week and into the weekend. So I wouldn't go too far high in elevation because your water temps, I think, are going to start shutting down that fishery. So I would definitely stay on the lower elevation streams. But again, if you're willing to get off the beaten path, you'll not see a soul.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of your streams in the park, Patrick had a question for you, and he wanted to get your tips for fishing the wild trout streams in the fall and any suggested rigs.
Well, yeah, first piece of advice is get up, enjoy your coffee. There's no need to get out there too early. I think on these creeks in the wintertime, I think it's a window, depending on where you're at with the mountain behind you with the sun, but 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. is your bite window. You can be set up, be out there at 10 o'clock. That's fine. But when that sun hits the water and gets warm and the water column up, that's when the bugs are going to get going. The fish will get happy, and that's your chance. Now the rigs, I just do a double nymph rig. Could be a stonefly, something heavier, and then the dropper do a tag dropper with a smaller, more natural nymph, maybe an 18 pheasant tail, 18 hare's ear, or even go down to a midge. But, I wouldn't spend, all 10 hours of daylight or however much we got, lobbing nymphs over and over. I'd just be, 11 to 4. That's your window. And then, because you'll notice when the sun starts to sink behind the mountain, it starts cooling off really quick. And so after about 30 minutes to an hour after that sun, it really starts to turn off.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, we love questions on the articulate fly. You can email them to us or send them to us on our Facebook or Instagram page. And if we use your question, I'll send you some articulate fly swag, and we will enter into a drawing for something cool from the shop at the end of the season. And Dale, before I let you go, finish cooking your vegetarian tacos. You want to let everybody know about your 3 shop locations and hours, and if you've got any kind of specials for Black Friday running.
Absolutely. So no specials this year on Black Friday. We're just happy to have a stock shop. So come in, see us, and we'll give you a free high five. How about that? But we'd love to see you, love to help you out. You can find us 530 West Main Street in Silva and 110 Depot Street in Waynesville and 3 Depot Street in Bryson City. So, and we'll be there 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Through the holidays. We will be closed on Thanksgiving Day, to some folks' disappointment. But I tell you, folks, a great way to avoid the crazy shenanigans of Black Friday is just go fishing. So get outside on Black Friday. It's a great way to spend it and go have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So folks, just so you know, the hours are the same and the days are Monday through Saturday.
That's correct.
Yep. And as I always say, although we're getting close to winter, I'm going to have to change the closing. Fall is my favorite time to get out and fish, and you owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Dale.
You too, Marvin.